For most people, human history begins with us. Modern cities, smartphones, space exploration, and everything that seems uniquely human today appear to tell the story of a species at the center of the world. But what if the greatest survival story in human history doesn't belong to Homo sapiens at all? Long before modern civilization existed, another human species walked the earth, conquered harsh environments, and survived for an astonishing length of time. Their story has been largely forgotten, yet understanding who they were may reveal one of the most important lessons about humanity itself. And once their journey is uncovered, an even bigger question begins to emerge. When most people think about humanity, they imagine a timeline stretching back forever. Yet the reality is surprisingly different. Homo sapiens, the species alive today, appeared roughly 300,000 years ago. A long time by human standards, but only a small chapter in a larger story of human evolution. To put that into perspective, if all human history were compressed into a single year, modern civilization would occupy only the final moments before midnight on December 31st. That's a humbling thought, isn't it? Archaeological discoveries across Africa have revealed just how recent modern humans truly are, while fossil evidence shows that many other human species lived, adapted, and disappeared long before our ancestors built their first villages. The deeper researchers dig into ancient landscapes, the clearer it becomes that humanity's story is far larger than most people realize. And hidden within that vast timeline stands one species whose survival record remains almost unbelievable. Meet Homo erectus, a human species that may have achieved something no other human has ever matched. According to fossil evidence, Homo erectus first appeared around 1.9 million years ago and survived for well over 1.5 million years. Think about that for a moment. Modern humans have existed for roughly 300,000 years, yet Homo erectus endured for several times longer. In 1891, the Dutch anatomist Eugene Du Bois discovered some of the first Homo erectus fossils on the Indonesian island of Java, helping scientists realize that ancient human relatives had spread far beyond Africa. Later discoveries across Africa, Asia, and parts of Europe painted an even more remarkable picture. This was not a small, isolated population but a species capable of adapting to vastly different environments. They traveled enormous distances, learned to exploit new resources, and became one of the first humans to truly expand across continents. But surviving for so long was no accident, which naturally leads to an even more fascinating question. What exactly gave Homo erectus such an extraordinary advantage? So, what was the secret behind the incredible success of Homo erectus? Scientists believe it wasn't just one thing, but a powerful combination of traits that worked together over hundreds of thousands of years. Research published by anthropologists studying early human evolution suggests that Homo erectus had a body shape surprisingly similar to modern humans, with longer legs that made long-distance walking far more efficient. Evidence from sites dated to nearly 1 million years ago also suggests that they may have been among the earliest humans to regularly control fire, giving them warmth, protection from predators, and access to cooked food. Imagine living in a world filled with giant predators and unpredictable climates. Having fire would have been like carrying a survival superpower. They also produced stone tools that were far more sophisticated than those of many earlier human species, allowing them to process food, hunt more effectively, and adapt to changing environments. Piece by piece, these advantages helped Homo erectus thrive where others struggled. Yet even with all these remarkable abilities, their greatest challenge may have come from something far beyond their control: the world itself. The world Homo erectus survived was nothing like the one people know today. Over the course of their existence, they lived through dramatic climate shifts, expanding deserts, changing forests, and multiple ice age cycles that transformed entire continents. According to paleoclimate research, the Earth experienced repeated periods of warming and cooling during the time Homo erectus was alive, forcing animals and human populations to constantly adapt or disappear. Imagine building a life in one region, only to find that the environment has completely changed a few generations later. Fossil and archaeological evidence from Africa, China, Indonesia, and other regions suggests that Homo erectus repeatedly faced these challenges and somehow kept going. They followed migrating animals, discovered new food sources, and adjusted to landscapes that were often unpredictable and unforgiving. In many ways, their story is one of resilience on a scale that is difficult to imagine today. Yet despite surviving environmental changes that lasted hundreds of thousands of years, a mystery remains that continues to puzzle anthropologists and evolutionary scientists alike. After surviving for more than 1 million years, Homo erectus eventually disappeared. But why? Surprisingly, no one knows for certain. This is one of the biggest mysteries in human evolution. Some researchers suggest that increasingly unstable climates may have reduced the resources they depended on. Others propose that competition with newer human species could have played a role. In recent decades, discoveries in Asia have revealed that some Homo erectus populations survived much later than scientists once believed, making their final chapter even harder to understand. A study published in the journal Nature highlighted how environmental changes often create survival challenges that affect entire ecosystems, not just a single species. Could Homo erectus have faced a combination of shrinking habitats, changing food supplies, and competition all at once? Or did another factor, still hidden in the fossil record, contribute to their disappearance? The more evidence scientists uncover, the more fascinating the puzzle becomes. And hidden within that puzzle may be a lesson that doesn't just explain their fate, it may also help explain our own place in the story of humanity. The story of Homo erectus challenges one of the most common assumptions people make about human history. Success is often measured by technology, wealth, or modern achievements, yet this ancient human species accomplished something truly extraordinary. It endured for an incredibly long period of time. For more than 1 million years, Homo erectus adapted to changing climates, migrated across vast regions of Africa, Asia, and Europe, and survived environmental challenges that would have overwhelmed many other species. They developed tools, learned to exploit new resources, and demonstrated a remarkable ability to adjust to different conditions. Their journey reminds us that survival is not always about being the smartest, the strongest, or the most technologically advanced. It is often about flexibility, resilience, and the capacity to adapt when circumstances change. In many ways, the success of Homo erectus offers a powerful lesson about what it truly means to thrive over the long course of history. Perhaps the most important lesson from Homo erectus is that humanity's story did not begin with us, and it may not end with us either. By studying this ancient human species, scientists are not simply investigating a distant branch of our evolutionary family tree. They are searching for clues about resilience, adaptation, and the characteristics that enable a species to survive through dramatic environmental and social changes. Homo erectus endured for an astonishing length of time, facing shifting climates, new landscapes, and countless challenges while continuing to spread across vast regions of the world. Their success suggests that flexibility, cooperation, and the ability to adapt may be just as important as intelligence when it comes to long-term survival. And if their story teaches us anything, it is that understanding the past may be one of the most valuable ways to prepare for the uncertainties of the future.